Andrews to hang in there, and after losing Nigel, this becoming his team. He was my vote for player of the year because I thought he just did a terrific job of handling this group of freshmen. Early in the year, they were fantastic until they kind of ran out of gas a little bit, typically as freshmen do. But his performance this year, his leadership, all the way up to this last game, I think every game he's put up big numbers on us. So my hat's off to him. I'm happy that for him, he's had a terrific career, but I'm also happy we don't have to play him again and have to figure out how to guard him because it seems like he has big games against us every time we play. I thought my guys battled again. There's no quitting this team. We can look forward now to taking a couple of days off and getting ready for postseason play, which we look at it in terms of Vegas. That's our postseason play where everybody's 0-0. You're in a one-and-done environment, obviously, and I feel like we can match up with anybody, and they don't need to call themselves new guys anymore. They're now a veteran team because they've been through a season. They don't have to go to Vegas and worry about a packed arena, hostile crowd. That's a neutral court, and I'm anxious to see how we're going to respond to that.
Even though it wasn't enough of a second half surge to get the win, the fact that you were able to make it close, does that sort of make it so Connor's big performance, that defensive stretch in the first half, those things don't get overshadowed with the big loss?
They don't need to get overshadowed because understand something. We shot 50% from the field in the first half, 57% from the three, and 100% from the free throw line. And we were down 10. We were down 10 because of a stretch of 2 minutes to close the half where we fouled Andrews on a three-point shot. We gave him 2 more easy buckets, and then my point guard shoots the ball with 21 seconds to go on the shot clock in a one-shot situation coming down into the half, and then we give up a 3 without putting pressure on the ball. Boom, there was that stretch again, and it was huge. But when I look at the game and see a team that scored 34 buckets and have 25 assists, I think there was one stretch every single bucket was by an assist in that first half, and even the first play in the second half. We out-rebounded this team. We figured out the free throw thing. There's a lot of positives I can look, but we still lost the game. But I certainly look at the positives that we take away from it as we continue to go from here.
It seems like you've had the fast personnel and the slow personnel this year. For Connor to have one of his best games and one of the fastest games you've played, that must imply a lot of things to you.
I think the thing you can see with Connor as he's been through the year, just think about him after Vegas, a spring, a summer of playing somewhere, and then coming back. He's going to be different. Him and Josh are going to be just a 1-2 punch with Val being able to come in the game and Robert Franks. I'm very comfortable where we are in there. Q Johnson, I think he showed you again where he could go with his game, just the numbers he put up at the end of the game. So we just got to get a little bit smarter, a little better at our guard play, particularly our point guard play. Let's get a little bit better, a little bit headier, as I call it, particularly in this conference and on the road in this conference.
Ernie, midway through the second half, when Andrews went on his 12-point run, how do you kind of keep your team focused through something like that after that?
Well, the thing about his run, it wasn't like they were wide open, uncontested shots. He got into what I call one of them zones. And for a senior in his last game, fifth-year senior that's so confident to get into that zone, it was hard to shut him down. We looked at double teaming him. We hard heads on ball screens. He was still making tough shot after tough shot after tough shot. There's not a lot you can do in that situation. So what I talked to this team about was taking the ball out of his hands, have somebody else make some buckets, but keep the pressure on them, too, at the other end of the floor because they've always scored a lot of points, but they've always given up a lot of points, as you can see is evident at the end of this game as well.
You've been able to experiment with a lot of rotations, a lot of starting rotations this year. Did you see a group of 5 that you really liked out there tonight, or are you still experimenting?
I experimented so much because I wanted everybody to get experience and get an opportunity to play. When you saw where the conference was so good and we were struggling in some areas of experience, we were struggling on the road, my biggest thing was get guys to play and get comfortable playing, get their confidence and grow throughout the season. So I do not have, the guy I have set right now, Josh Hawkinson is that guy. He's the guy that you know where his game is and everything else. Q Johnson is probably the next guy coming behind that. And I hope Ike would come there, but we've got work to do. We know that, and we will get better.
Darian turning into one of those guys for you?
Darian, potentially, he's got to put on 20 pounds. You know, he's one of those guys that we're going to give him his things he needs to do during the offseason. He's got to get bigger and stronger. I think he can be really effective because he can shoot the ball, he can put it on the floor, he can rebound. He's got great length, but he's got to get stronger, tougher, grittier, and the strength in the weight room will do that. Okay?